Good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope you've been enjoying the beautiful weather and you've not got sunburn or anything like that. It's been absolutely glorious in Manchester, although I think it's going to rain, but hey, it's good for the garden, isn't it? So that's the way we've got to view it. So tonight we're actually going to be talking about a beautiful cooling oil for us and our pets. Cue Holly to come down and join me. If you're listening to this, this is Holly, my cat, who likes to join in on all these things. And I think you like peppermint, don't you, Holly? So my name is Dr. Helene. I'm an A&E doctor and advocate for integrative wellness, as well as an animal aromatherapy specialist. And I love to use essential oils to support the health and well-being of myself and my pets and help educate people to do the same for their family, whether that's human or animal. So if you like what you're listening to, please hit the subscribe or the follow button so I can carry on creating more content, and let me know in the comments what you want to know about. Now, why not book in for a free chat with me or come to one of my classes and to find out how essential oils can support you? And I've actually got coming up next week a class all about canine arthritis and how to support your dog naturally. And we're going to be covering lots of things from exercises to supplements and lifestyle changes. And, you know, it's all about it as well being integrative as well and things to look out for. So do come along and register for that. And you can go to the link at the bottom, which is www.thehealthfulDoctor.com/WPW. Now, maybe you've got oils and you don't know how to use them to support yourself or your pets. So I do consultations for both humans and animals as well. So do get in touch so we can have a chat and see what's going to support you the best. So peppermint. And I will be chatting about peppermint more with dogs and supporting canine arthritis on Friday. So do check that out in the class. Now, it's a really interesting oil, this. So peppermint is actually a hybrid of watermint and spearmint and was first described by Carl Linnaeus in 1753, believe it or not. And it's a fantastic oil, but it's actually one that can be found in the extreme of purity. And it's a really an oil that's really adulterated. And in some tests, they found that 3/4 of peppermints were actually found to be fake. And so when you don't get a pure oil, you miss out on all those other benefits, because oils are obviously more than just an aroma. They're the whole sort of combination of different constituents that give it all the benefits which is why we love using essential oils. So a peppermint oil with a high menthol content is what distinguishes a really good quality peppermint oil from other products. So do look out for that and have a look. And don't forget, look at the GCMS so you can actually see what it's saying there. So as I said, the main chemical component in peppermint is menthol, and menthol has a monoterpene background with an alcohol functioning group. And so it contains these energizing properties that contribute to the whole energizing effect of peppermint that we really love. And it's known to soothe smooth muscle in the colon. And the relaxant property occurs because of menthol's ability to keep calcium channels working optimally. So it really is fantastic. And obviously the relaxing of the colon, smooth muscle reduces the movement of the bowel, which can ease occasional bowel looseness. And because of this effect, menthol is a main contributor to peppermint oil's ability to promote digestive benefits. So we always think of peppermint, don't we, for supporting our digestive system. And in actual fact, 1 drop of peppermint oil is actually equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. I'm just going to put Holly down because she's not going to play ball, so she's going to go up there instead in front of my camera. Now, peppermint's often used as a driving oil so that it can actually... Oh, Holly, what are you doing? Thank you. Go on, up there. Good girl. So peppermint's often used as a driving oil, so it means it can actually enhance the penetration of other oils. So it's a really good one to be applied after layering several other oils in a topical application. So really, really beautiful like this. And peppermint's got so many properties to it. So it's very, very versatile for both ourselves and our pets. And so it really is one that you must have in your little essential oil toolbox. Now, it can help support an anti-inflammatory environment, as well as be supportive to the immune system and for protecting the body against seasonal and environmental threats. So if you've got an itchy dog, so this is a really good one because it can also help repel critters as well. And I like to use this in my flea and tick sprays. Now, those same properties that apply to the digestive system also apply to the musculoskeletal system and all the challenges that presents as well. So very, very good for the muscles. Now, peppermint's also very good to support memory and focus, which are 2 components of cognitive function. So there's actually a lot of research going on as to why it works. And obviously that can be supportive for both our pets and ourselves. There's actually, from the human side of things, there's been a study that was done in collaboration between scientists from the UK and Duke University, which looked at an in vitro analysis to assess the ability of peppermint, amongst other essential oils, to bind to key receptors and enzymes found in the brain, such as GABA and cholinergic receptors, which modulate cognitive performance. So preliminary testing identified spearmint and peppermint oils as the most promising due to the propensity of these oils to bind to GABA and cholinergic receptors. So GABA is a neurotransmitter known for producing a calming effect, and it is thought to play a major role in anxiety, stress, and fear. So those of you who are familiar with anything, I'm always talking about canine calming and things like that. I'm often talking about GABA and oils that can be really useful to use there. So the researchers also found that peppermint essential oil had a positive effect on cognition during when the study participants were doing difficult mental tasks, and it also helped to reduce cognitive fatigue. And this is something that I really find as well. I've always got my peppermint. I love using it at work. I pop it on the back of my neck, and I like to deeply inhale. And also it's one that's in a lot of different blends that I might use. I'm doing some study later, so I will have the oils that I like to use that have got peppermint in, and you can it really does help you focus. So it's a great one you might want to use with dog training as well, particularly with a dog who might lack focus or perhaps is overstimulated by what's going on around them. So that would be my little serendipity doodah, and she likes everything. So she's good with peppermint. Now you do have to be mindful. There's is some research that suggests that in young children there can be a concern in using peppermint under 18 months old, but the evidence is actually inconclusive. And if it's heavily diluted, it doesn't appear to cause a problem. Now, interestingly, the condition is not witnessed in animals, but again, it's always wise to be cautious with small animals such as puppies and kittens. So the key is always dilution. And it seems to be that people often suggest that cats, for example, don't like peppermint, but it seems to be the way it's applied rather than peppermint itself. Because I know if I put peppermint on, I mean, I have actually put some peppermint on just before I started doing this video. And if you've seen my cat, she's been up and all around me. So she's definitely not put off with it. Now, it can be very strong smelling, peppermint, obviously. And if you've ever got it near your eyes, you're like that. So do be mindful of that, particularly around pets or small children, because that can make them uncomfortable. And it's actually due to how it's been applied rather than a function of peppermint itself. Think about when you're inhaling it up the nose. Someone once messaged me and said, oh, can I put some peppermint on the end of my dog's nose to stop them smelling my bitchin' heat? And I was like, no, that is going to be so super irritating to your dog. You try putting it on the tip of your nose and see how you feel. It's going to be, especially with dogs where they've got such a heightened sense of smell, and all animals as well. So I love to diffuse peppermint first thing in the morning when I get up. I'll often put a little drop in my first drink of water, and I'll pop it in my diffuser with some orange as well, to really wake up my senses and get me going. I am not at my best first thing in the morning, and I get up and I do my miracle morning, and then I have my dogs to sort out. So this really massively helps me sort of get out of that sort of sleep state and get going. There's so many fabulous ways to use peppermint to support our health and that of our pets, and so many different ways. Now, if you are using it with your pets, just be mindful of their size. If you've got a pet under 10 kilograms, you want to dilute it with 1 drop in 1 tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil. If they're over 10 kilograms, 1 in a teaspoon. Horses love peppermint, and you can use it in the same dilution that you would a human. Peppermint's very revitalizing, so it's very good for pepping you up. So, you know, not just in those early mornings, but when you're flagging, perhaps at work or with study, like I will be later. It's also a good one for pets. So particularly during the heat wave last year, I didn't need it today, but all my pets had some peppermint applied in their groin. So avoid the genitals, but it was all diluted in the groin just to enhance their cooling. And if you've ever put peppermint on yourself to cool, you'll know how effective it is. Now, peppermint's actually got a really fantastic and fascinating mechanism of action, because it can heat and it can cool. So, for example, on burns, it will feel cooling, but it can also help to warm and relax muscles. So this ice pack effect reduces blood flow to the area, alleviating inflammation and pain. So it's a great one to utilize for our pets that may have arthritis, or us, or if we've got any tenderness after an injury as well. Now, this actually happens, so there's a little bit of science for you, because menthol activates the TRPM8 receptor, which is an indicator of cold. So it can also bring sensation to otherwise numb areas, and can also numb superficial nerve receptors under the skin. So for anything that's uncomfortable on the skin, it can be really useful, but you do need to be mindful that it could actually exacerbate things that are painful as well. So you always need to just, you know, have that in mind, and try things out, but don't go overboard with it, and just take it as small little steps. So I hope that's given you some ideas about peppermint. So many different ways, obviously cooling for yourself, improving your congestion, applying a drop on your finger in the roof of your mouth really opens up those airways. I had oh sorry Holly, I had a migraine the other day, and I was speaking to someone on a voice message, and she said, "Oh, you sound very congested." And I said, "Oh, do I?" And I thought maybe that's it. So I actually put some peppermint over my forehead, and actually started to feel improvement in my symptoms. So I think there was definitely a component to my sinuses that were contributing to that, because it does really help open up your airways. So I hope that's given you some ideas. Do check out peppermint if you've not tried it before. It's got so many different benefits, and it's just such a fantastic oil, and it's really, really good to support you along with lemon and lavender against seasonal threats as well. So do bear that one in mind. If you want any more tips, do follow, check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. For my human side, it's at The Healthful Doctor. For pets, it's at Who Paws Wins, and I'm also on TikTok as at Who Paws Wins as well. So do follow and hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you want to know about as well, so I can make sure it's tailored for you. Pop to the link in my bio if you want to come to the canine arthritis course, and don't forget there's some free downloads there as well. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. Bye.